And so ends one of history's great grand finals. Collingwood take the final step on the stairway to premiership heaven.
G'day lads, welcome to the Weekly Barrel, the podcast made by the fans, for the fans, for our first properly video recorded episode. I'm sitting here with Jamie Brooker, Ethan Lawrence and Josh Kempen. Boys, do you just want to give a quick intro to yourselves? Jamie, mate, how are ya? That's alright, mate, that's alright. Josh, how you going, mate?
Oh, I'm alright, mate. Just for remembering footy's even back on.
I know, it's crazy to think. And what team do you support? Just for all the new viewers out there, mate.
The West Coast Eagles.
Having a good time, aren't they, mate?
Lovely time.
What about you, Ethan? Who do you support?
I go for the Bombers. I'll comment all episode from these fellas, but I'm here to fly the flag.
Jamie, do you want to give that one more go, mate? Who do you support
mate,
over there?
Doggies fan, mate.
Yeah, shocking. 3 shocking clubs I'm surrounded by.
What team do you go for, Rob?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious given the t-shirt here in mint condition.
Question.
This is a celebration episode for me as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, let's get right into it, boys. So, 2023 Grand Final recap. Look, I think there's a lot that has been said about this game. And I'm going to throw it straight to you guys because you're probably sick of Collingwood supporters talking about it. I want to ask you, the most controversial part of the whole game, the advantage call at the end. Do you think it was fair that advantage was called, or do you think that it should have been recalled? Maybe I will pass straight over to Jamie. Thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, mate. I think it was a bit of a shocking call, to be honest, mate. Yeah, I think advantage should not have been paid.
Why's that?
I don't think there was advantage in the play. Watching it back.
Well, I guess I'm not as specifically across the rules, but it seems like the argument against is that, because they didn't hear the umpire, then it should have been called back. But how often, I don't know, how often do you hear an advantage call paid back because players can't hear it? Has that ever happened?
Well, no, but it wasn't because he couldn't hear the advantage call, it was because he couldn't hear the whistle for the free kick.
And he didn't get fair.
Yeah, so he didn't even know that there was a free kick.
He was also facing away from their attacking goals. I'm not really sure how that's an advantage position.
But how often can any of you recall a time when an advantage has been called back because they didn't get advantage from the kick?
They shouldn't have paid advantage.
No, umpires have 100% corrected themselves before. I mean, I don't know a specific minute of a game, but I've 100% seen them correct themselves.
I just like to see somebody in the media.
He just shouldn't have paid advantage.
I guess perhaps, but I still think though. How often is it that an umpire will reverse a decision? It never happens.
No, I'm not asking him to reverse it. I'm just saying why.
But technically, he would be reversing it because he called advantage.
That's like saying the free kicks are on call. He shouldn't have called it.
But the commentary angle afterwards was did Brisbane know that was advantage there? So if they did know that there was advantage there.
I don't think they knew. It can't have been too much of a bad thing because he never expected to have the free kick, so he just played on thinking it was a contested kick. Also, I wish it was because we'll never know what could have happened. But 2 minutes to go in the grand final, less than a minute to go in the grand final, they're never going to pay that anyway. So the whistle's away. So it wouldn't have been paid if it was Collingwood's way, if it was anyone's way, but. It was very loud, and it's meant to be a neutral venue. It was not a neutral venue, so...
Well, I'm glad we
So Collingwood just drowned out all the supporters, but it was meant to be a neutral venue.
So can I ask you, why should it be a neutral venue when we finished on top of the ladder?
Because that's what the AFL rules is.
Who finished higher in 2018?
We're not talking about 2018, but I'm asking though...
He's got precedent.
We've got to change the name to Victorian League if it's going to be...
Look, for you guys that say we should actually play the grand final at the home team's ground, isn't it technically fair?
No, I think it should be at the MCG because it's the biggest stadium. You can fit way more people there than the Gabba, but Collingwood shouldn't just flood the joint. It's fair enough.
We didn't flood the joint.
They did it the week before against US, that's fine. It was a home game for the Pies, but...
And the grand final was our home game. And to be completely honest...
You get to wear your black shorts, that's about it.
To be completely honest as well, I would say probably 40%. Maybe this is a hot take, but I reckon 40% of the crowd are potentially neutrals at a grand final.
40%, no way.
Yeah, that's a different problem with grand final.
I know.
We're
But
talking, I reckon max 20%.
how many people can fit inside the
I reckon
MCC?
it could be full.
But MCC is not necessarily neutral.
But I reckon I would say 80% of MCC is neutral.
But it's not just MCC.
What do you mean? Oh, in terms of
Like,
seating
yeah.
allocations, yeah, that's true. But as an idea to start from, what percentage of the 100k is neutral? Because I mean, I felt like I could definitely notice being there at the grand final. There's so many blue shirts, especially in that MCC section, and the crowd noise just isn't the same. I reckon 2018 had a better atmosphere.
MCC though, they might not wear the club jersey just because they have to wear the collared shirt.
Oh, but you can wear your Guernsey over the top, and if you're a true fan, are you going to turn up to MCC
That's a different
wearing?
argument.
Are you going to turn up to MCC wearing a blue shirt if your team is in a grand final? Because I would argue you're not a true fan if you don't turn up wearing a Guernsey on grand final day, or some kind of club something. If you just turn up
Mate,
neutral
you've got to pick
clothes.
one of the teams if you've got a ticket. Because I've got to. Esso's never going to be there, so I'd love to go one day if I had the opportunity. I'd support Brisbane or any team.
No, I'm saying a neutral fan, they're already a neutral, but as in, if you are an actual supporter of your club, you will wear something of an item of clothing.
Definitely.
My dad doesn't wear any merchandise.
I mean, I guess you could probably say, people could probably look at that and say, oh, well, Peter Dacos doesn't even wear a Collingwood scarf. And I guess he doesn't, but I still think, for a majority of people, maybe old men are excluded from
I
this.
reckon a lot of people grow out of wearing their club merchandise.
Why is that?
And it could be even the more supporter you are, the less merchandise you actually wear. You're
Not compensating.
Because you're not compensating. You're not trying to prove to people you support a team. You're just going to enjoy it.
Isn't part of going to watch your team supporting them, and isn't part of supporting them wearing something to show your support?
I mean, not to everyone.
Guess that's a philosophical question, isn't it? I just have less respect. I'm going to say I have less respect for people that turn up not wearing anything. I do. I'm not just saying this to put out hot takes. I'm being serious, man.
Clickbait.
I'm being 100% serious. Mate, if you ask me this any time, any conversation, I would say it, man.
If they're going for their team, like,
Does it matter though?
who cares?
I barely wear.
Look, if I just see someone turn up in neutral, yeah, I'd probably respect you less for that.
Okay, fair enough.
mate.
That's your choice.
Maybe that's enough take for me, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I think we can all agree that Collingwood are deserving premiers from last year, and it was a great grand final. Is it up there as the best grand final of all time?
It
is.
is.
It in the? Would you think so?
Of our lifetime, maybe not of all time, but in our 24 years of watching grand finals, it's up there.
I would say so. Anyone opposed to that?
It was a good game. I've only watched
It was a
it
good game.
once, but yeah, it was a good game.
We could discuss the commentary, but I would go into rant mode. Unfortunately, I think the commentary potentially lowers it. I mean, people say the spectacle speaks for itself, but you turn on the channel, mate. You turn on the Channel 7 replay, and it just lowers the whole game. It takes away from the game, in my opinion. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. Moving on. Can't the Pies, we'll just say that, because I wanted to celebrate a bit of the grand final, but moving on. Let's go into the off season. So I guess let's just briefly touch on. Do you guys think, how are you feeling about all this concussion stuff? And I guess, are any of you worried that it's going to get to a point where they're maybe taking away parts of the game that are fundamental parts of the game, like tackling, smothering, etc., etc.?
I don't think it'll change just yet. There have been changes, and if you compare this game now to the 80s, like, it's changed so much. Like, back in the day, in the 80s, melees were synonymous with footy, but not anymore. So it'll be a gradual thing so that we don't get too up in arms about it. But I think it is generally for the better. But I think things like, if they're unsafe, like tackling, bumping, smothering, there still is a place for all that. But I guess it's all outcome based though.
Yeah. Well,
Unless you're Braden Maynard.
Oh, don't know.
Or Patrick Cripps. Fairness.
How about the one on the weekend, bro?
Oh,
yeah,
bad.
that's
That was a
that's
shocker.
yeah.
Cop 7 weeks for it, so
No one can excuse that.
yeah.
What's
I,
he doing?
even he couldn't.
Practice match as well.
I mean, I think we all agree that that's wrong, but what would you guys think about the recommendation that I think some medical people have been saying that you shouldn't have contact training?
Well, that just doesn't. That means it'll cause more injuries.
That's what I
Is that what they said?
yeah, that's what people are saying, but at the same time,
People will do it anyway. You ban something, creates a black market. People will just go elsewhere.
You're
But like,
That literally-
that just won't fly. Like
Yeah.
I don't think that'll
A
work.
sports scientist told Barry Favola, "Oh, you can't be on your legs for that long. You can't have 100 shots every training session." So he just went to the local park and did it himself. So, like, you ban something, people will do it anyway. Like, they'll just find another way. I don't think you can ban contact training.
that being said though, apparently they've done this in the US with NFL teams, and they found that NFL teams that lowered their training intensity, so like less contact, actually perform better on the field, which is
How much intensity is there in NFL anyway? So much standing around. I don't think you can. It's apples and oranges. You cannot
That's
compare.
facts, mate. I actually agree with that. We just completely isolated anyone from America who is watching that. If there is
athletes.
Yeah, mate, big South Rocker, mate.
Mason Cox's brother might be listening.
Yeah, Nolan, the big man. But moving on. So, Melbourne Football Club. I just say,
Are you just glad it's not Collingwood having the off season from hell for once? There's been not one issue. Tell you who needs a raise. The Collingwood PR manager. They have been spotless.
I would say Collingwood has never done anything as bad as what Melbourne have done now.
What?
The Do Better report.
What have Melbourne? What have Melbourne
We're
done?
talking about more on the illicit drug front, I guess.
Oh, the Rat Pack.
Yeah, but none of them were dealing cocaine.
Lockie Keefe and.
Or maybe
Wasn't it-
they were and they weren't
But
caught.
Hesse, have you read? Because wasn't he done for dealing cocaine because he sold it to like 2 mates?
No, I haven't read the specifics.
is
I thought he was selling
technically
it to
dealing.
teammates.
Yeah, but that's kind of different to being in a big drug trafficking ring,
Yeah, but
which is what you're making it out to be.
Yeah, it's really not like that.
So do you
That's
think?
a lot different.
Well, do
And
you-
a lot of people, man,
Yeah.
I definitely know people who've sold drugs to their friends.
But do you? It's a good thing we're not live, mate. Do you think that this is happening at every club?
Yes,
Probably,
but
yeah.
the PR managers are just good at controlling
Is
it.
what
And
happened.
people don't do it the night before a drug test. Like,
Yeah, that was pretty spot.
But like, look at the young men like our age group in society. Like, yeah, we all know people, and AFL will be no different. It's just a cross section of society.
Do you think that they should have as much scrutiny as they do? Because I think some former Swans player came out and said that everyone's just does coke anyway, so they shouldn't have as much consequences.
it's just the role modelling of
Yeah.
it is why
They
they
can
get.
cop.
At the end of the day, though, it's Joel Smith's life and it's his health. At the end of the day, if he wants to drink a heap or consume whatever substance, it's his health. At the end of the day, like he probably won't go on to play 300 games. That's his choice, you know. Like
Because-
he can do what he wants. Like Bailey Smith can do what he wants, you know.
But surely
It's his decision. It's his health.
But I mean, it's technically, surely we'd agree, it's not performance enhancing. And maybe if you did a few lines,
Well,
like,
it is acutely.
If you did it before a game, 100%.
yeah, if you did it before a game. But I mean, that's the thing. They've found traces. They can ascertain from that he wasn't doing lines at half time. So should he be banned for 2 years?
In
Wait,
my
why?
opinion, no. But it depends on what your stance on drugs is. It's,
I think 2 years is too stiff. But
Why is he banned for 2 years?
Because
That's
it's
just what he got.
It's under ASADA if you have a illicit substance.
well, that's what
I thought
the
it had to
Essendon copped, and they did actual performance enhancing
I
drugs.
thought it had
so-
to be performance enhancing.
that's true.
Yeah, like literally, and that's me saying that. Like,
I think it technically comes under performance.
But
Just
wasn't
'cause he's a
the
singular
wasn't the
player
Lockie
rather
Keefe
than-
one?
yeah.
Wasn't the Lockie Keefe one? There was traces of actual performance enhancing, and he just
Yeah,
got
that was
really
one.
unlucky.
That was 1 year.
Nah, that was longer. I'm pretty sure that was 2 years. I
Oh,
think.
was it?
Yeah, there was like he got unlucky because there was
Oh,
stuff in
that's
the cocaine.
that's correct actually.
So why
it was
is-
clenbuterol.
Yeah, so did they find something in
I
it?
think the difference with Lockie Keefe was that was recorded in the off-season drug testing, whereas Joel Smith is during the season.
So you're not allowed to illicit drugs in the season?
I
Well,
think
No, but
no,
it's
it's
illegal
I-
technically.
I think-
it's illegal
No,
anytime.
for 2 years though. For 2 years.
I think
ban.
I think possibly cocaine is seen as performance enhancing in season.
Oh, in
perhaps,
season,
but
from
not
off-season.
in
Yeah,
off season.
yeah. Well, they're a bit spud then.
Off season, just a club then.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
No, maybe he's got actual issues and he needs substance to escape.
Don't we all, mate? Doesn't mean I'm going out and doing lines with all the lads, mate. But
Other coping strategies. I don't know. Like, we haven't heard his side. He hasn't spoken yet. I
That's
don't know
true.
why. Because if he did speak, he would be torn apart
Yeah.
by the media. But
yeah.
we haven't heard his side.
It would
yet.
be interesting.
And his lawyers probably told him to be.
I don't think he'll ever really speak. Not for a while, at least.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from all of that, boys. I reckon let's just go super quickly into. I want to hear from you, from your teams. What is the pass mark in 2024 for your team? I'm going to start with Josh. What is the pass mark for the West Coast Eagles in 2024?
Okay, I've got two different answers to this. I think the aim for the Eagles is get out of the bottom four. But I don't think that's necessarily the pass mark. I think that's the aim. I think a pass mark is 5 wins. Because we've had four wins in 2 seasons. 4 wins in 2 seasons.
That's pretty good.
So 5 wins in 1 season would be a significant improvement.
Do you think?
Will Simo be there at the end of the year?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Huh?
Simo, the coach, Adam Simpson, will he?
If we get less than 5 wins, even if we don't sack him, I think he'll leave.
Do you think he should be there now, or would you like to see a new coach?
I'm not against. I don't think Simo's the issue.
What is the issue? Is it injuries?
We
mate?
don't have any good players.
Police management.
List management is terrible.
Probing question.
Oh yeah, also we want to see a lot of improvement from our youngsters.
I mean, I agree.
For the rising star, that's my tip.
I think they've constantly had an attitude of poor me rather than what can we do with our situation, and that's contributed to it. Would you agree with that?
That's North Melbourne. I think you've been like, and West Coast will rise faster than North has.
I mean, I guess, but we did also have like statistically the worst injury lists for the last 2 years. So.
Which you take into account, but I think the way the
Strength and conditioning staff, maybe they need a.
They completely got renewed this
Yeah.
year. Apparently, we sacked them all.
I mean,
So
that's good.
yeah, we're at least trying to make a change. I like Don Pike as our president. He's already made. He already. CEO, sorry, yeah, and he already changed so we have a banner now at home games instead of some eagle you walk out in.
Oh,
He changed our club song back.
Oh, you did?
Really?
We bought the old club song back, which I was so
Is that
happy
true?
about. Yeah, we bought the old club
That's
song
big
back.
news. That's you've heard that first. You've heard
That's
it first.
huge.
Yeah, which I was so happy about.
That's great.
I'm
Because
of the opinion I didn't mind the Birds of Tokyo song.
It's not a theme song though. Like it's good as like a club
It
like
was like a
club
marketing
song.
ad. It made me.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I'd love to go.
Correct,
to
But it's
Eagles,
not
like,
good at when like pre-game. you know,
correct me if
like-
I'm wrong, but you became a shocking team as soon as you.
Well, we got that song like the season after we won the premiership.
Yeah, and it was all downhill from there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon you're going to be good this year then, mate, if you've got rid of the song.
Never know, mate. Harley Reid will carry us. Top 4.
Get around him. Alright, well, Ethan, mate, the Bombers. What's a pass mark for you, mate?
Oh, same as every year. Just middle third of ladder, absolute mediocrity. Anywhere from 6 to 12, and the club will be like, oh, we're back, and then they'll sell this false hope to the members, and then bait me again into buying another membership, which I fell for again. And next year they'll be like, just outside the 8, but still middle third again. It's always the middle third. Yeah, anywhere from 6 to 12.
Is it just permanently set at every season is a fail until you win a final?
Yeah, like a story on this.
It
I
kind
was-
of is.
Yeah, well, I was like, it's 19 years, it's going to be 20, like 2 decades if we don't win this year. And like something that made me, like I knew it was old, like that it could bet and drink and smoke the finals drought. It can do all of that. But like I was at work the other month, like, and this 18-year-old was talking about it, and he's like, you know, playing for Lawn Dolphins and the Otway League, and Ed Curnow is the coach there this year, and this kid, he goes for, he's 18, he's like not kidding anymore, he goes for Carlton, and he's so excited to be playing under his like childhood hero, finally, at Lawn, but then he said he wasn't even alive 19 years ago, he wasn't alive in 2004, his kid's like patrolling the beach, it was like a lifeguard, and I was like, oh gee, like, yeah, he's not a kid anymore, and he hasn't even seen an Essendon finals win. So, yeah, if we were to find it, it would be like a flag. The lid will be off. Can you imagine the scenes? Like, it'll be bigger than Richmond.
Can't imagine it because it's never going to happen, mate.
Yeah. It's my fantasy though. I dream.
Maybe one day, mate. Well, Jamie, yours interesting, mate. The Bulldogs. What is the pass mark for the Dogs in 2024?
I think, unfortunately, the pass mark will probably be top 4. Especially for Bevo.
But they never make top 4, and in the nicest
that's
way
the-
possible
that's the
though.
problem.
But they've been really good when they haven't.
Yeah, I just don't think if we don't make top 4.
But what if they get in a run again, like the way they do, and make it to a prelim, and then they come top 4 anyway?
Yeah, I mean it could happen, but I think if we finish like 5th or 6th and then lost first final, I think Bevo would still be in trouble.
Thing is though, like Bevo was the best thing to have in the Bulldogs in half a century, and if they sack him, it's giving him another 50 years till the next one.
I mean, I don't know why you think that, but anyway.
Well, he was the best thing to ever happen. Has there been any
I
other?
was thinking with our list, like,
But
top 4's not on the list.
Is your list that good though? Because people always say, "Oh, the list is so good," but if the list isn't performing, is it always the coach's fault? Maybe the list just is overrated, mate.
Yeah, but the coach takes responsibility.
I get it. They do, but do you think
Is that right?
Yeah. Do you think
I mean, yeah, how long's Bevo been there?
But do you? How many? He's got you to 2 grand finals, and as Ethan would
The
say,
consistency of like
Yeah, but we
never
haven't
making top
never made
4
top
has
4.
to have something to do with Bevo.
We've never made top 4.
That's not his style though. He's like a surfer dude.
Yeah,
he used to be really chill. He's not anymore. He was like
it's a bit tired and sad these days.
it was an absolute breath of fresh air when he started. He was like Craig McRae back then.
Yeah, it's like
true.
30 years since he's been in the Dogs.
yeah, it's true. It's sad. It's sad.
But no, I think, mate, big Riley Sanders, new recruit's looking very good. So
You've been sending me photos of him.
yeah, no, I think top 4 is gonna be tough, but realistic. So we'll see.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, and I guess for Collingwood, it's kind of a weird thing. The season after you win a premiership, what is the pass mark? I mean, you'd almost say another premiership because otherwise it's just a worse season than what you had. But at the same time, whatever happens this year, I don't think Collingwood supporters will be too upset because we're lucky enough to win the flag. Do you think that's a fair take?
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
think
And if you do better-
grand final would be the aim.
yeah.
And if you make top 8 and do better than Geelong did, like that's
Yeah, exactly.
take that.
I think it's a pass. Yeah, probably. Yeah, no premiership hangover. We'll take that. All right. Well, moving on from that, then I'd like to hear everyone's guess for the spoon. First of all, let's start with you, Ethan. Who's it going to be, mate?
unpopular one, but I'm definitely not the only one. Richmond Tigers. I'm saying it there now.
Don't rate Uzo, mate.
No, like he seems like a good guy. It's just the list and I'm just saying it. Like I'm just being a bit edgy with that one.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, like it was a 1 point loss to Essendon that ended Damien Harwick's career. So they're a bit rattled down Tigerland.
I think, to be fair, Dusty's looked good though in their pre-season. From what
Yeah,
I've
so has everyone. They've been training the house out.
yeah, like they say every year.
Everyone's been
Interesting. Richmond, alright, well, we'll see. We'll check in at the end of the year like we always do, mate, and see how that one holds up.
Can we just bask in the glory of, I don't think we've said this on air yet. Before the season, this time last year I tipped Brisbane for the flag, and Zach Bradley and Norm Smith, quarter time, I was extremely happy. It was looking very likely quarter time the grand final, and then it nearly happened. So
That's a good
my predictions,
prediction.
it could come.
Put some respect on his name, boys.
Yeah.
Put some
I said it, there you go.
You did. Josh, who's the spoon, mate? Could it be that club that you've got the scarf next to?
It's such a hard question because my team is like a very high chance of getting it.
You guys said Essendon last year.
But I don't know. Like I think Hawks will be a bit better. I mean, I feel like North most likely outside the West.
I just didn't say
I'll go
North.
North.
I didn't want to be basic, but it's
Yeah.
probably them.
Let's be honest.
I think North have a bit more upside than people give them credit for, to be completely honest.
They've got a lot. Well, the media are hyping up all their youngsters, all the rising star, not eligible nominees.
And now they've actually got a recruit that's going to stay with them because Shees will just sign that huge deal.
And Nick Larkey, genuinely good player as well.
I reckon they are not going to go as poorly as everyone says.
Imagine if they could supply Larkey the scores they'd be kicking.
Yeah,
But if he goes down, they're in trouble.
Yeah, I just think
They already are in trouble.
I don't know.
Well, then who are you predicting if you don't think it's North then?
Probably West Coast, mate.
Oh.
I don't think that's a controversial take.
Everyone thinks West
Yeah,
Coast.
I think that's probably an easy get out prediction, but I'll say West Coast. Someone had to. Jamie?
Yeah, I was gonna say West Coast.
Everyone's predicting.
Sorry,
All the ladder predictions I see on like
Sorry, mate.
Fox Footy and stuff are all West Coast.
I hope it's not West Coast. I hope it's a few other teams.
As long as we win more than 2 games.
All right.
Well,
Well,
the past one.
let's move on then, and let's give our guess for the premiers for 2024. And you can't say your own team.
mate.
I'm going to stick with my guns and go Brisbane Lions again. And if we're going for Norm Smith, Zach Bailey will stick with that. Next.
Same as last year. Jamie, thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Brisbane as well. I just really want them to win it this year.
They've been
It's
so
pretty
close for
sad.
so long.
Pretty sad last year's. I'm not gonna lie. So
On consistency of top 4 finishes, they
Yeah.
deserve it.
it's feel a bit bad for them to be honest. So yeah, wouldn't mind seeing them
Guess
get up.
Rob, you're nodding sarcastically.
No.
Say your own team.
I haven't actually given much thought to this before recording.
Yeah,
Says the guy who wrote the run sheet.
Because you know what? I'm just gonna throw in the Adelaide Crows
Interesting.
because I think they are an underrated team, a highly underrated team, and you could say whatever results, but I think they've actually starting to get the list there. I think they'll be so hungry after they got robbed, and I think they may possibly give it a crack. I mean, it's hard to say, they're untried, but I don't know. I just feel like so often media will always just pick somebody from the top 4 the previous year, but often I don't think that is what actually happens.
Well, if Adelaide don't win it this year, then they won't win it for a while because this is probably the last year Tex will be at his maximum.
Yeah.
They don't really have any other good key
Unless Phil
forwards.
Thorpe comes good or something.
Unless, but who knows?
Yeah.
He's an unknown
But he
quantity
looked good.
still.
I mean, he looked good. Tex looked good last year, so if you can keep up that.
Yeah, but he's probably this next.
McGovern swept Phil Thorpe under the carpet in the pre-season game there.
Did he?
Yeah.
Trading the house down.
That's alright, mate. It's pre-season. Good research though, Ken. What about you, Ken? Who's winning the flag, mate?
I have a bit of a left field one. I think the granny is going to be a Sydney Derby.
Whoa!
And I have, for the second year in a row, I have a second year coach winning it, GWS.
Whoa. They're my runner-up.
The Grizz.
I think Sydney are a genuine big chance as well, but I think GWS will.
I just don't want to see a Sydney Derby grand final. I don't know. I mean, it would be great for the game.
A lot
it
of
would be
people
great
would-
for AFL.
A lot of people would rather a Sydney Derby grand final than Collingwood beat it again.
100%. Collingwood Carlton would be
Word
my
on the
worst
street.
nightmare.
Surely you would admit you would love to watch Collingwood Carlton as a neutral fan.
Hate it. I don't want either team to ever win a premiership.
I guess so, because then they'll be the greatest ever. 'Cause currently it's Collingwood, Carlton, Essendon equal in history, and then like the next flag wins the ultimate.
I know you guys aren't getting it. So.
Yeah, I think Kemp. That's not actually bad call, mate. I think that could
They've got good recruits at Sydney as well.
100%.
Brody Grundy.
If they can play well.
Yeah, I think it's not actually that left field. All right, Brownlow guess quickly, boys. Who's winning it? I'm gonna say Dacos. Sorry, I'm just getting
You
it out
can't say
there.
your own team.
No, Nick
Is this a rule
Dacos.
for this one?
Hey, Brownlow, you can pick anyone. Brownlow, Nick Dacos. This is his year.
Danny,
Lock
you'll
it
be
in.
No, after the robbery of Bond, mate.
I'm tipping Bond. It's Bond's year because
Bond was robbed. It's been robbed, buddy.
Neil was robbed when Cripps won it. Then Bond was
Oh,
robbed
mate.
when Neil
That
won
was
it. So it's Bond's turn
How's
this year.
Neil won this? How many Brownlows he won?
Yeah.
Two. How's Neil won?
He doesn't deserve to.
I mean, to
he
be
had
fair-
Cripps robbed him the year before though.
To be fair, the Brownlows are piss take award.
So I actually don't get it. Let's be honest, mate. What do you think, Ken?
Based on my granny prediction, I've got to go with a Sydney player, like one of the Sydney team players. So either Goulden or Green. Maybe Tom Green.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Has Tom Green polled well before?
He always polls like, I think he's polled like double digits a few times, but not close to it.
The only thing is Goulden, however you say his name, Goulden, might steal his vote, so...
If they're different teams.
Different teams.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. See, I don't even know. I thought you were saying... No, I thought he was a Sydney
No, I think it'll be a
I don't
Sydney
even know
based
that. I don't
player.
even know that as a bloke.
So, if that's the grand final, then the round will be presented outside of Melbourne, like interstate.
Yeah,
Same as this year.
We're presented in Sydney. Yeah.
There we go.
Shows how irrelevant those GWS players are, mate. It's fun for me. All right. Now, to finish off, let's talk about the opening round.
Oh, I'm not a fan. Who does the scheduling at the AFL? Because it was meant to coincide with the Vegas round at NRL.
And that's
then they've cooked the dates. Yeah, it's already happened.
Yeah.
But is the NRL starting?
Has that already happened?
No, it's happened. The Vegas round has already happened.
Last weekend.
Yeah, and the NRL, guess what? It's back.
Yeah.
And there's a game in Melbourne this weekend.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, like the NRL now have free reign on Melbourne this Friday night. So,
And I think I sort of didn't even piece together, but there's actually only 2 AFL games in Sydney. Correct me if I'm wrong this week.
Two in
Yeah,
Brisbane,
and two in Queensland.
Yeah.
So is that really that much? I don't, because surely there'd be some weekends where there is 2 games in Sydney because GWS and Sydney play home games, and I don't think, just because it's opening round, I don't think that's going to appeal to your random neutral New South Wales.
Well,
the only way it would have worked is if there was no NRL in town, but there is NRL in town. So whoever does the scheduling, sack them. They should be the West Coast fitness staff. Get rid of them. Seriously, that is as bad as it
Are there
gets.
more rounds this year, or?
Yeah, same as because of the gather round. There's an extra round.
Yeah.
But these teams get an extra
It's
bye.
getting-
It's too long. Why is the season starting so early?
We love
Yeah.
footy.
I don't rate it.
Starting so early.
I agree.
My son and mum was like, I'm off for a quad. I'll be outside. I said, footy season already? I was like, yeah, every weekend till the end of September. It's starting. It's how good though.
Yeah.
Don't we love that?
I think I kind of wish we had. I think this is the one year, being a premiership winning side, this is the one year I want it to go longer because I'm just happy to bask in glory for another few weeks, mate.
I just don't like the footy season starting, but you're not excited because your team's not actually playing.
Yeah. That's true. It kills a bit of the
Yeah,
excitement.
like, I get why they've done the round, but now you've said that, it kind of is pointless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just assumed, they'll play like another few neutral games in Sydney, like gather round kind of thing. Like even if it wasn't a full gather round, but just have one extra game or another extra game where you get 2 big Melbourne clubs to go up and play there.
Well, now that NRL's on, that'd be even more of a fizzer.
Yeah, I know. It just seems to be, seems to be a bit of a disaster. All right, gents. So opening round predictions to finish off. First, we got Sydney and Melbourne, and in Max Gawn's words, I heard him say this: the game that no one asked for as the opening game of the season. Max Gawn said this, and I agree with him.
All right, I respect that.
So do I.
I hate it.
To be fair, it's better than bloody Richmond Carlton.
That would be good
It's
though.
just a
This-
tradition.
I don't know.
It's always a terrible game.
Yeah, but
Historically.
I'm sorry though, but
So this is better. At
Melbourne fans.
least we get to see good
Melbourne
games.
and Dogs fans didn't turn up for Melbourne Dogs.
Melbourne is the most fair weather
Yeah, but
supporters, and the Bulldogs don't have many fans.
That was the last time.
That
That
was
was
talking
the,
about football quality. I don't want to see bloody Richmond Carlton.
yeah, but that was the last time when they actually changed it up and had you guys open the season.
Yeah.
And only like 55k turned up to the G. Shocking, man.
Who cares, man?
It was a Wednesday night.
You want it. I think for the opening game, you want it to be a packed out stadium.
Man, I couldn't care as long as it's good football.
Yeah, but well,
You need vibe though. Do you want the COVID stadium?
exactly.
Bring
That's
that back.
what I was gonna say.
Put it on the TV, man. I'll let the football do the talking, man.
So this
The
guy
COVID stadium.
I don't worry about all this.
This
bloody
guy doesn't.
fans,
This guy doesn't.
mate.
need
I don't care.
crowds.
Put, mate, this doesn't need the crowd.
So you'd rather the prelim be played up at Giant Stadium rather than the MCG,
pray them.
where Collingwood won by
The
points.
Doggies
It was
won.
the absolute atmosphere so good.
Yeah.
The scenes
If you
of
could
the
just
G.
pick random stadiums.
fine.
Yeah.
Should they play? If GWS had the home game for that, would you rather it be up in Western
They
Sydney
deserve
or down
the home game.
Oh,
Yeah.
If they deserve it, yes. But
I
if
don't
we're
know.
just talking about for spectacle, surely we can agree.
Yeah.
It's better if it's a packed out
Yeah,
stadium.
but I'd take good football over that.
Yeah,
If
I
it's a
agree.
shocking game.
I just think, as much as we love footy, when we were watching in COVID, no matter how quality the game is, when it's empty stands there,
But it's not
I don't
COVID.
care.
There's still fans.
You're much more on the spectacle than the footy than a lot of people are, though. Yes.
That's true. But yeah,
Do you even watch the football match?
I'm too busy. I'm too busy with people watching throughout.
Let's tip though.
Yep. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So. All right, Jamie. Who's winning?
I'm gonna tip Sydney for this one.
Yep. Fair call. So am I. Sydney.
Swans for me.
Surprise experience.
Even though I have them for the granny, I'm actually tipping Melbourne because I think it'll take the Swannies a few games to gel with all their new players.
So you reckon Melbourne are going to respond to the controversy with a huge opening win there? Is that
I
narrow?
don't think they're going to smack him, but I think they'll win.
Tough trip up.
I just think it'll take Sydney a couple games to gel and then they'll be off to the races.
Okay. Brisbane, Carlton. It's at Brisbane though, so I'm going to tip Brisbane.
The Gabatoir, they don't lose there.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for like an 80 point.
Repeated
They even beat the Pies up there last year.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
I'd be shocked for Brisbane.
I mean, Brisbane don't lose.
And I mean, the rule of opening round tipping or first round tipping is you always tip the home team.
Is that
In theory,
is
because
that-
it's such a hard round.
Generally, that's what you stick to.
Is it being worked? Is it worked though?
Although
I think last year, yeah.
the interstate travel though, it's not as much of a factor because every team is
not
fresh
first round,
and like
Yeah.
running on top of the ground. At
That's true, but I feel like it's always unpredictable how a team's going to go, and I just think the safest bet in opening round is normally to stick with the home team.
Yeah.
That being said, I'll never tip against Collingwood, so Pies for me and Collingwood GWS, boys.
That's almost the game of the round, the last one.
You just skip again.
Yeah, we'll go to that
Yeah.
afterwards.
I've got the Giants because I really want them to win.
Yeah, I got the Giants too.
Look, I think they'll just be so salty after the prelim. It's going to be a very tough game.
I'll go with Collingwood because it's going to be close, and Collingwood just win the close games. Collingwood will win by less than a goal.
I hope you're right, mate, because I'm going up to Sydney. So, yep, going up for the game.
Wow.
So, it won't be too...
Good stadium.
Yeah, I've never been there before. You have for the prelim, so it'll be interesting to see. I can actually give an opinion on the stadium after I've been there.
Slightly different atmosphere.
To be fair though, the Sydney Collingwood prelim was one of the best AFL atmospheres I've ever been to, ever. Like that was
The
unbelievable.
one where you lost by a point.
Yeah, that was unbelievable atmosphere. You boys are just laughing. Imagine if Collingwood lose by a point.
Would have been a long bus ride back.
Thankfully, I was flying back.
Oh, the
actually.
bus ride up.
Yeah, I got the bus ride up and the plane back, thankfully. And to end on a bit of a fizzer again, but Gold Coast and Richmond, boys. I'm tipping the Suns in this actually.
Oh, gee.
Gotta pick the Suns.
Isn't there the new coach rule or something where the new coach?
They do often win their first game. If the Suns are any sniff of finals, they've got to be beating Richmond. At home.
At home.
Especially since I've tipped Richmond for the spoon, so it's got to be.
Yeah, you can't
If yeah,
tip
this,
Richmond.
it would be classic Suns to come out and lose this match.
It would be a decade.
Yeah.
More
It's
than-
so big.
Don't they
You
always-
can't trust it till you see it.
They always
consistently.
start fast though, don't
Not
Yeah.
theoretically, yeah.
they? Yeah, so surely.
And every things that death taxes and inevitable things, it's like every single win is the best win in their history. It's always
The best win in their history.
it's, no, in their history.
Yeah, 1 point win.
Yeah.
Uh, Sure.
Like Ben King's gonna be a Hall of Famer because he'll be the best
Yeah,
forward
the best
in
forward
their
in
history.
All right, lads. So thank you very much for tuning in, watching one of the first we've filmed in person, first podcast. Did you boys have a good time? You enjoyed that?
Yeah.
It was great to be back.
And if you like what you saw, please consider leaving us a comment. And hopefully maybe throughout the season we might record a few more of these. Boys, anything else you want to add before we finish up?
Just give us 5 stars on Spotify. It helps.
You know it. And shout out to Travels Talk, mate, your podcast.
It's coming back.
Yep, this guy, he runs a travel podcast with some great guests. So check that out everywhere.
Like yourself.
Yeah, Hesse has had an episode on there. Check out his. Jack Bailey
there's a good one.
has also been on the Weekly Barrel.
Yes, he
He's also
has.
been on Travels Talk.
Yes, he has. Big Jack Bailey. That's a good episode.
Where is Jack Bailey?
To be fair, he finished work at 6 o'clock tonight, so
Yeah.
he's got an excuse. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, make sure you engage with us. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next one. We love footy and go Pies.
Good. Oh, what an episode.
Good stuff, lads.
Thanks, fellas.
We got into it once. It was pretty funny at the start, trying to get used to it.
Is running out of the hourglass. Myercheck, long kick down the wing for Collingwood. Andrews moves a few out of the way. Cox knocks it down to Hoskin Elliott, kicks it back inboard, side by side, step by step. McRae's